Dhanashri, I'll call. Dhanashri.
Start.
Yeah. Call 5 minutes. I'll split. Hey, Arjun dog is ready. नहीं. अरे ये है ना. बेटा.
Good evening. Please settle down. We shall start the evening with the national anthem. I didn't say still.
Dhanashri and Sandhya.
I now invite Dhanashri Garu and Sandhya Garu for joining us with the national anthem.
Announce, I request all the speakers.
I request all the speakers to settle down in their allotted table. Rise for the occasion.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. I welcome all the IIID HRC family to the wonderful evening of IIID series, 17th edition of the series that we are going to celebrate today with the dynamic practitioners, young blood, young generation of the fraternity. Before that, I would request our chairperson to give a welcome note for the occasion.
Welcome all and good evening. Nice to see an early start to the event. I think we should strive for doing this more often, trying to start on time, get back home on time, do the high tea at the high tea, not at dinner. So thank you everyone, and thank you to all the speakers for having consented to be part of this lovely series. We are in the 17th edition and you can imagine how popular it's becoming. So today we have many duos who are presenting, and we also take this opportunity to celebrate the International Women's Day, which just went past 2 days before, and I can see so many lovely ladies. And thank you to our sponsor Darpan, who's taken an extra effort to make sure that the ladies are welcomed, and I'm sure when they go back they'll also get a smile on their face. So I would want to thank all our speakers, all the practices who've come in, want to share their journeys. We again have this mix of young practices, acclaimed practices, senior practices, people who do something different. One thing I would just want to share here is that one of our speakers, architect Surinder Kumar, had a bereavement in his family just today in the afternoon, and he had to miss being part of this talk. But I think he's managed to have his colleague and partner Vandana to be here with us, who would take on the presentation. So that's kind of her to step in. And we have also Roxana, who comes with her better half. She wanted to keep him out, but she couldn't do it. So he's here as a group. So I think we're going to enjoy this evening, and thank you everyone for coming. And one more announcement, a small announcement, is that we have back-to-back events thanks to our sponsor Darpan, who's getting into his 8th store. Round of applause for Darpan, launching his 8th store tomorrow, which is at Kokapet, and he's now gone from Sikandarabad on one end to Kokapet on the other. I think he's not leaving any square kilometer of Hyderabad is going to go without Darpan furnishings. So I think congratulations, Suleiman Bhai and Zeenat ma'am. Thank you for supporting us all through. And I would now hand over one more thing. So before I hand over, I think we have the convener of our awards, architect, engineer Ravi Anchuri sir. I would request, I think there are too many award winners already in this room and people who can still win awards. So we have this event open until tomorrow, and I think with popular demand there is going to be an extension, the last and final extension for these awards, which we are. So the way we went about is there is something called as a registration process, because we are doing this digital. So you are supposed to register by tomorrow and also submit by tomorrow as per the extension given. But I think due to Holi and some people couldn't get professional shoots and all done, so they had requested us that we want to push the registrations only until Monday, which is 13th of March. By Monday evening we close registrations. So another thing is that if you want to participate in more than one category or put more than one awards, you please have to register that many times and pick up that many coupon codes. So that's very important. Don't think that once you've registered you will be able to upload more than one project. So just make a note of this. Secondly, people who are able to register by 13th of March, end of day, can upload their entries by 15th of March, end of day. So that's the final extension we can give, because I think each one of us who's in charge has been getting calls for that one final extension. And we already have a very good number of registrations and entries, but I'm telling you, Hyderabad is the one city which can go to national level, and this is the best opportunity for you to put your products together, because very soon the National IIID Awards are being launched exactly on the same format, wherein all you need to do is probably just make your entries a little better and then push them into the national. So I think this is the best opportunity for all of you to close your entries. You have 5 more days to go. I think it's a good enough time. You have a long weekend coming. You can please do that. And I think that will really push everyone to compete with each other, and that's something as IID we can give back to the fraternity. We can give you acknowledgements for the great works you guys have been doing as awards. So thank you everyone, and let's welcome our first speaker. I now invite Subbarao to take over. Thank you so much.
Thank you, our chairperson and Architect Manoj Garu, for your wonderful welcome note. So we are very happy to celebrate the Women's Day here with our warm-hearted Suleiman Bhai, always rising to the occasion. So he has actually treated our all wonderful women of the fraternity with lovely roses. So it's a very warm. Thank you so much. And then I now welcome all the speakers of the evening: Architect Roxana Chenna, Architect Shiva Mohan Komaravalu, Architect S. Surendra Kumar, Architect Ramesh Kumar Maddi, Architect Amulya Gullapalli, and Architect Prashanti Narapsetti. So wonderful evening today. We will all enjoy the journey into the realm of the profession. Now I request the introduction of Architect Roxana Chenna by Sushmita Subedhi.
Very good evening, one and all. It's indeed a pleasure having you all here. And I'm here to actually introduce the first speaker for the evening, architect Ruxana Chena. As Manojji rightly said, Ruxana could not make it just by herself, and that's where she got her husband, which is actually a matter of pride. Can I request both of you to please come on board? Architect Anush Chena and architect Ruxana Chena. So Ruxana did her B.Arch from... What is the center there? Okay. So Ruxana Chena is the principal architect and interior designer, and Anush Chena, architect and interior designer. They both run the firm Ruxana and Anush with their office set up in Hyderabad and Mumbai. Ruxana did her architecture from CSI Institute of Technology, School of Architecture and Planning, 2006 to 2011. And then she did her professional training with Hasmukh C. Patel, that is SCP. And then after that, she worked briefly with architect Sanjay Puri. At the same time, architect Anush Chena did his B.Arch and M.Arch in urban design from School of Design, Mysore. He did his architecture from 2003 to 2008. They were destined to meet 3 years prior. He also did his training with HCP, that is Hasmukh Patel. And then they united together to set up their own firm, which is Ruxana and Chena, in the year 2016. Their projects include, actually they have worked both in India and abroad. Few of their projects are Mosaic Co-working Private Limited, Mumbai, Rashtriya Metal Private Limited, Mumbai, Mullah Farmhouse, Lonavala, House by the River, Wada, House on the Hill, Uganda, Gimopedia office in Hyderabad, and many more. The kind of awards and acknowledgement they have had are their projects were featured on the cover page of Society Interiors magazine, project featured in Tiles of India magazine, certificate of commendation was given by IIA Architecture Utsav in IIA Arch Utsav. They were panel members in IDAC 2022, which was held in Hyderabad. They were also recipient of LROC Awards in the year 2021 and 2022. I also wanted to add here that Anush Chena did he worked for 10 years with Talati and Panthaki architects, and that's how their entire work has been. It is an immense pleasure to have you both here. Ruxana has been doing her M.Arch in our college, and I would want to say that she gels with anybody and everybody, be it her classmates, be it the B.Arch students, be it with the faculty. She just gels with everybody, and it's it's a unique feature you have got. So congratulations and all the best. So put your hands together for the first speaker of the day, of the evening.
Is this one working? Yes. I think it's easier, this one. Huh? This one? Please talk over the
Good evening, everybody. It's indeed a pleasure for us to, an honor for us to showcase our work in front of such eminent people in Hyderabad. I'd like to say that we are Ruxana and Anush. I know it doesn't say that on the board, but we work together as a firm. This journey started off very interestingly. We both met because of architecture and design, and we sort of put both our efforts together to start something incredible. So that's how Ruxana and Anush was conceived. Actually, Ruxana is the main person behind this. She's really taken it forward. So Ruxana.
And he's my equal half, not my better half. Just saying. Okay. So this one? All right. This is the next one, right? Want to start? Okay. So good evening. I'm Ruxana, and it's like introduced. And we have our projects which span across Bombay and Hyderabad. So he's that Jamshedpuri boy, and I'm this Hyderabadi girl. And I graduated from CSIT, and it's, I think, very important to first give credit to our teachers. And I was very lucky to be sanded and polished and grinded in CSIT amongst teachers like Sushmita ma'am, Shahnawaz ma'am, and Suman Rekha ma'am, and my favorite Shweta Moni, who's not here today. So, and then I began in 2016 when an opportunity came my way, and I left Sanjay Puri and started. But first, after we left CSIT, it's also the people we meet within our journey. And a shooting star went right over our heads, and we got very fortunate to hear the experiences of Hasmukh Patel and Doshi sir, and these people really played a very important role in defining our perceptions and perspectives on architecture. I loved Hasmukh Bhai more because of seeing him when he was in shorts in his house and seeing how polio had affected him, but how just strength of character can take you forward. And in 2016, we were lucky to have this wonderful client, a Kerala businessman who wanted to start a co-working in Mumbai. And he used to call me his little girl, and because I was so tiny, and he said, like, little girl, this is your canvas, go paint. So he gave me that freedom, and I think it's very important. So the successful projects come when clients really trust you. And you will see Netflix doing a lot of shoots in Mosaic, so it was not just it was not just a cover page in magazines and one out of us a few awards, but it also became this place where Netflix continuously shoots. So you see a lot of Anushka Sharma and Shraddha Kapoor movies and a lot of Netflix series which have been shot in Mosaic. The most recent is Plan A, Plan B. Then how did we do this? We just, very simply, we took the plan and we zoned it in 3 different parts. First was the designated workspaces, then the highlighted common workspace, and the casual workspaces. So we didn't take it too complicated. It was really simple. And it was about, the entrance was very important, about how you create those first impressions. So we created those first impressions by having these louvers, and so when the potential co-worker wanted to enter a space, he automatically has a sneak peek of what the interior would be like, and then he enters, and in one glance he can take the entire space. So this was achieved first by transparency, because people love talking to other people and meeting other people. So first was transparency. And second is, I think we used the most wonderful materials of nature, right? So we took the most earthy materials like bricks and wood and a lot of plants to make this extremely homely Zen interior. And then we took the brand Mosaic and put that in the flooring over here, which is from Bharat Floorings, and reflected that in the ceiling with planters hanging. Then to make it a little fun, because not everybody wants to work on an office chair. Sometimes you want to just put your feet up and have your laptop and just work casually. So we created spaces for them too. So we created spaces so they could just relax and sit down and work over here. This doubled up into an interior which became this great space for comic nights and had these evening discussions over here. And of course, a lot of plants. So the plants have this amazing capacity of keeping us calm and rejuvenating our senses. So we used a lot of plants in the spaces. And then we used a lot of, because it's an open floor plan, and in an open floor plan 100 people can get lost. So how do you create that identity? So we created that identity by not just giving these unique seating arrangements, but having unique lighting features to make each seating arrangement unique to itself. So creating an individuality throughout. Then over here, so you can see this brickwork and stone and plants, so which completely makes it a very earthy and a very connected interior space. And you can see the space being used by the people over here. And you can see that we have these hammocks over there. People are just working. And this is a Monday morning. It's a Monday morning and people are just working very relaxed everywhere. So, and everybody. So the client asked did we use Vastu? I said no, because everybody came and said they had such a positive vibe. And that's only through the materials, honestly, which was used. Then again, we created a very different, again, a space which is for a bank. Again, over here, we don't really, so we pick our inspirations from conversations we have with the people. So the chairwoman said the value of Zoroastrian Bank was to be amiable, was to create these amiable interiors and create transparency. So we used those as elements, and we created a very warm bank with warm interiors with a circumambulatory space, so the banker and the customer always remain connected to each other. And then on the other hand, we created an office. So the moment you see this, you know the client is a modernist, right? So over here, he is the make in India for shoe giants like Steve Madden, and he had a very modern approach. So we reflected that in his space. My personal favorite is Rashtra Metal Industries, because over here I was a new mother and I did not have much back help, like support for family to take care of my child. And my baby would come with me for client visits, site visits, selection of materials, everything. He came along and he really gelled with all the workers on site, everybody, the clients. And over here he's hiding behind my client's desk after it was designed. So again over here, so you can see like the interior reflects also the age group it is designed for. So again in this age group, it is a more senior age group. So again over here, the interiors is more subdued and minimalist again. So again we have these brick warm interiors, wooden warm interiors to create that. And Rashtra Metal are clients who, so they do the base for the ammunition, and they create all the coins which we use before they go for minting. So they had a lot of copper lying around in their old office and in their house. So we used all those old coppers and a lot of old, like waste wood which is going on the side, and recreated them as planters throughout. So we created these planters throughout the workspace using their existing old copper vessels.
Okay.
And so and then in 2020 he joined me, and then he became Roxana and Anosh. And
okay, so we also did a few architecture projects. We started off with a few small bungalows, and we got this opportunity to design this large farmhouse overlooking a tributary in Wada in Maharashtra, and where we sort of designed this whole house with this landscape overlooking the river flowing. So yeah. Yeah, so this is something that it looks in the night. Basically, the whole house was divided into two different levels. The living space is much higher to get a better view of the river, and the lower entertainment level. So you have smaller indoor games and a swimming pool, which is indoors, which has this landscape steps coming out. I'm just briefing you on the work that we've done. There's some interiors of the same space. We sort of, all the spaces overlook the river. So there's not one space that doesn't overlook the river. So next, Yeah, so that's a small sort of a sit-out space, which is quite high from the river because the floodplain sort of floods the site. So we have this sort of a little gazebo that we made over here. That's the view of the indoor pool that we designed. And a few more residences. This was a really early work we did. As you can see, this was a really rustic farmhouse done with very little investment. You can see that it was just basically it was just 2 rooms, again along a little tributary to the river. This was in Mysore, and on a very little investment that we designed this for her. Next, and some work that we are doing at the moment. Actually, they're quite large houses at the moment. So there's one in Aurangabad that we're doing, and this one's in Uganda that we're doing for a friend of ours. Both of these are architecture and interiors, and they're yet to take off. We're also doing a resort in Anandgiri over here in Hyderabad, and we're doing a few interior residences in Jubilee Hills over here. So that's our body of work. Thank you. Thank you.
One more big round of applause for the wonderful couple. So, proud to see you here. I'm also alumni of CSIIT first batch. So, ancient she calls us. So, nice to see you in the evening, both of you. Thank you for coming and narrating your journey here. So, any more questions from the audience? You got 3 minutes. They absolutely finished on time. So please ask or shoot your questions to the young team.
This is our first Q&A round. So be kind. Nobody? Okay, so how
frequently you fight?
Sorry, how frequently? He's my best friend.
She doesn't give a chance for somebody to fight.
In terms of design, of course, 2 minds are different, but we've always got this level to which we both agree to or agree to be on, which sort of helps us out in terms of
and help the client out.
And the client.
Together with the client.
Yeah.
Did they take advantage of separately, or they speak to you?
No, they speak to us together. No.
So the initial project, because I was quite young, so over there they would just call me like the client would just call me his little girl. But I tried to look older as I advanced. Okay, any other?
How did you make him to Hyderabad?
Sorry?
That's a very interesting question. No, actually, we're working from Bombay and Hyderabad, so we sort of connected on both places. So we work in both places. That's why we have projects in both places. So that's
a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So now, after this wonderful kickstart, now I will invite the next speaker to be ready, and I would request Architect Shiva Mohan Komaravolu to be introduced by our dear Sanjana.
Hey, come on. Change.
Oh, change of name. Yeah. Usman bhai.
Yeah, Usman. Yeah, the mic is. Yeah, what a wonderful first session to be started. Yeah, so it's equal, not equal half. I think it's like full. You both are completely full. So that's a good start. Now our next speaker, Architect Shiva Mohan. He is Director and Chief Architect from Scale Design. And he has done his MS Infrastructure Planning from US and MS Management from US and BIAC Architect Shiva Mohan is a founder of Scale Design. He is a registered architect in United States and India. With over 20 years of international experience in architecture and infrastructure design, he has held senior technical and managerial positions with reputed infrastructure-oriented engineering and architecture firms like AECON, GEC, ETCPC, and HDR Daniel, Frankfurt in USA. His experience spans throughout most key sectors of infrastructure, architecture, engineering, and construction. He has specialized degrees, experience, and knowledge in infrastructure planning, architecture, and project management from reputed universities and companies in the United States. He has successfully demonstrated skills in design, project management, and construction administration. Throughout his career, Architect Shiva Mohan has been at the forefront of design on reputed and mega projects. He worked on New York City Capital's construction projects like the 2nd Avenue Subway, East Side Access, and several other high-rise buildings. Currently, he is heading Scale Design, which was established with a mission to bring world-class design to valued clients across various disciplines in the construction and building industry. His vast experience is adding tremendous value to several healthcare, luxury residential, and commercial projects. Welcome, sir. Welcome once again, and over to you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. It's been an honor to be here among so many creative people who dare to fly high and still have their foundations and roots on the ground, and being practical to make sure that their imaginations are turned into reality. So I'm very happy to be amongst you. And Kavita madam, so happy to be in your presence. You've been my teacher. We've been, it's very happy to see you here. So this is my brief insight into architecture. There are some accidents that happen in life, and architecture happened to be one in my life. I had no clue what I was signing up for, except that I knew I was good in sketching, and I took the entrance and I got a very good rank and I joined the course. And I had no clue what was I signing up for. Eventually things unfolded in their own way. So ever since my childhood, I was always fascinated by construction. I had no clue it was about architecture, it was about interiors, it was about structure. I had no clue. If I could smell sand, I could smell cement, I could smell water, I would just sit there and look at things. Had no clue what happened. Then the first day of my architecture college, this was my early vision in architecture. My friends asked me, what is your vision of architecture and why did you join architecture and what kind of buildings you want to do? I had no clue. I said, I just want to do buildings without pipes because I don't like exposed pipes on the buildings. That was the exact answer I have given him. And I still remember the day when I was going to college, and this was my first vision of architecture. Well, we are doing that right now. So after finishing my Bachelor's of Architecture in JNTU, I moved to New York. I studied my Master's in Architecture and Infrastructure Planning. It's a dual degree. And then I went on to become a registered architect. And the kind of exposure that I have been given is tremendous. I have worked with some of the best companies in the world doing mega infrastructure projects, deep mine caverns, high to super tall buildings, understanding how engineering actually works. For most architects, we really don't care about engineering subjects in college. That is when I started to understand, structural engineering we have not studied. Mechanical engineering we have not done anything. So when we were going through the entire discussions, this is a journey that I'm talking about, so it's not about my projects. The first day, I went to the office, did something. 15 days later, I was very nervous. I said, no, America, I'm out. I could not understand a word of what they were speaking. So I went to my supervisor or my architect and said, Osborne, this is it. I'm done. I can't go through this. He said, what is your problem? I said, I can't even understand the basics of what you're talking. You're talking about tunnels, you're talking about structures, you're talking about HVAC, and these are all Greek and Latin going forward. He said, Shiva, there is only one way of doing this. Everybody goes through this phase. At least I'm glad you realize this. Now, before you do anything, ask, understand, and do it. So he said, ask as many questions as you want. I will be happy to help you and move forward. So that is where I started. And from within a span of 6 months, I started handling bigger and better work. I started handling projects. So from 2000 to 2016, I was in the United States working in New York. 2016, I have come back to India. So my blessings, as I have told, have been my mentors. Without them, I am nowhere. Every day I open my office, I thank my teachers, I thank the mentors who have taught me architecture. There is no other God to me because it is them who taught me work. So what am I inspired by? This is very important. I'm inspired by space in astronomy, as a space in a room. I'm inspired by scale. I'm inspired by detail. I'm inspired by perception. I'm inspired by experience. Every space creates a different experience for you. And where I get inspired is how do I create a space which brings some kind of well-being to people. So my gift is been my understanding of space, which I have been slowly discovering. And I realized that accident of architecture is a good accident that has happened. I had to struggle for 15 years to understand that it was my gift. I was never pointed in the right direction. So it was a slow discovery of the process. I started understanding, yes, this is what I want to do. Yeah, I love to do this. Oh, I'm very good at doing this. I'm just enjoying this. This is how my career has been progressing. So it has been very fulfilling journey as I have been moving forward. Can you click on this link? So this basically explains. Is there a link there, please? Is there a link? Is it supposed to take it to your video? There is no internet, sorry. Okay, sorry. This was a video, but 30-second video that actually captures the entire design process. I think if there is a connection, I would like to show it. If you need some hotspot, let me know. I think it will be good to see this video. Okay, well, we'll come back to this. So, from what do we do differently? We meet a lot of clients, and every client asks us, all architects do 3D, all architects do planning, all architects do interiors, they give us 2D drawings and they make site visits. How are you different? I said, we're all the same. It's just a matter of choice. But the way we do it, change, is different. What we do is we do something called iterative design. We go back and forth several times, and the previous video would have actually captured what we are trying to show. So what we do, this is the concept. We come from a deep understanding of space. My inspiration has also been the sun, the sunlight. I have studied some temples in India where the sunlight directly comes into the Garbhagriha, into the deity's feet, and I've been inspired. So most of the work that I do is inspired by bringing sunlight into the house and bringing in natural ventilation. So this is one such project where we fine-tune the design and the structural openings to make sure that on the June 21st, this is where my main, and this is the image exactly of the main entrance, and this is how it will look. Now this is the concept. How do we achieve it? We go through a lot of detail. We sketch, we model, we go back and forth between design, we go to the stores, we take the material. Everybody does that, but it is very iterative, and we started simulating all these things. So we change the material, but we hold the concept. So for us, concept is very important. Details come next. Construction, we pick the right team. So this is the same project during construction, and this is the project after it is finished. So from concept to finishing, to commissioning, we go back and forth several times, underlying the significance of adding value to every stage. If we have to change something, we'll go ahead and change something. And I've always been blessed with clients who have, like Roxana was saying, completely trusted me. Shiva, make the call, finish the design, get me the house or the project. This is into product design. Now, this is an interesting, we do a luxury houses also. So this is, the name of the client is Shashikant. Shashikant is moonlight. So what we have done, this is the main door. We have captured 29 phases or 28 phases of the moon. The moon is sitting around the earth. Now this is the yin and yang. You see it is the water and the land. Then the fish, as represented by the handles, are the life on earth. And then the moon is always in the constellation. So we've taken 27 as per the Indian astrology, 27 stars. We have this embedded in the. So this is the entire concept of the door. So what we have done mock-ups. I have gone to Udaipur. I started talking to people who make this possible. We did the CNC cutting. It is all a matter of passion that we have taken it forward. So this is the door as it installed. And then we had to find a person who will do the fish handles also. There is no handle on the market that actually fits the proportion, the scale, and the quality of the handle that we wanted. So I had to go to Muradabad, find out the guy who will forge it, who will make a cast, dye it, and then work with them. Through all these processes, what we have learned is the contractors, the vendors, they know a lot more than us. And we are always open to their suggestions. And as a result, if we feel something can be incorporated, we take it into account. And this door has been very, very good. So this is the final door that is installed. These are the handles that have been installed last week. So from concept to construction, we make sure we move very seamlessly and very meticulously. This is one puja room that we have just finished. We've been trying to study puja room, how it is done. The client changed the concept 15 times. Every time it is a new concept. So I said, enough, let's do something original. So I sat down. They had the notion of Balaji as the supreme deity. So we got the statue done. This is all a hand sketch, which is actually documented in the video. So we sat down, I took the Pichwai art, I started understanding the art, I started drawing the art. It took me a week to get even to the basics of it. Then the idea was, this is Balaji, this is the 7 hills that you're going through. You have all creation and elephants and animals and coming towards the Balaji. It's a very simple concept, it's nothing extraordinary about it. But the way it is put together and the way it is brought together into the space made a lot of difference. So this is the final image after installation. So we have a series of recorded images at every phase where we work with the artist. We fine-tune the design. I'm very good at sketching. So we go back and forth as an iterative process. This is another house, living room. This sketch is pretty interesting. We think about design holistically. It's never thought in parts and pieces. So there is the ducting layout superimposed, there is a lighting layout superimposed, there is a plumbing layout superimposed, a flooring pattern superimposed, everything put together. These are the notes. So I don't directly jump to CAD and start drafting. I use iPad, and I think I have mastered a software called Morpholio, which is actually the best tool that we can use for architects for sketching. And this is the final image. So between this to this, it takes a lot of effort, lot of thought process. And what we do is something very proudly I say is called integrated design. We think through the whole system, not just an aesthetic. So my exposure to interiors has also been an accident, and it has been a pleasant accident. Now you see this thing, this is Dwarka Tiffins, I think by Khairtabad corner. So they asked me, can you renovate the structure or do the interior for the tiffin center? I said, this is too complex because it is such an old structure and they had such systems. I said, you tear down everything, I'll figure out what is there, what is not there. Then I'll tell you if I can do it or if I cannot not do it. And the gentleman immediately tore it down. It puts additional pressure. I thought he won't do it. It was a good way of escaping, but he did it. This is where we started. All we started is with a sketch. The sketching is very intense to understand the structure, the dependability. It's renovation projects are more complex to handle actually. And old buildings which don't have any engineering drawings, you are just hitting it blindly. So this is one part. This is our evolution on site. When we go to a site, we take the iPad, we sketch, we give them clear instructions, we mark on the site. I'm sure everybody does it, but we document the process. And the documentation brings that kind of sophistication and brings that kind of simplicity into the system. So simple mantra is we try to keep it simple and sophisticated. Now, Bruce was my supervisor or architect when I was working in New York. Shiva, you should kiss it. I'm like, what is it? What do you mean? He said, keep it sweet and simple. Any design, any thought process, anything, don't make it complex. The more you simplify it, the better it is for you. The better it is for the contractor. The better it is for the client to manage. So he has introduced me to the KISS concept, and that is something that is a mantra I carry all the time. Keep it simple and sweet. So even a 4-year-old boy can actually understand what you're trying to do. And my son, he just loves what we're doing because he's understanding it. So in this process, what we do is we follow the first class in basic design. How many minutes do I have? 2 minutes? Okay, right. 4 more minutes? Yeah. Fine. So the first class of basic design scared me. When Kavita ma'am or somebody else came and said basic design, rhythm, proportion, this, that, I'm like, dude, signed up for the wrong class. Had no clue, no sign of measurement. And then now, after 20 years of finishing that day to this day, I'm understanding the basics of architecture. So these are the kind of projects we do. We do very engineering intensive projects because my training has been in the United States in engineering intensive architectural firms. So we do healthcare, high-rise super specialty hospitals. We do luxury residential. We do landscape. We do high-rise residential. We do high-quality interiors. Interiors has also been an accident. My friend came and said, Shiva, I want you to design my house. I had no clue what it takes, what is the kitchens, what are the companies, what are the brands. The only thing was my gift of understanding space. I took 6 months to even get to a point where I finished the complete renderings and said, Ravi, this is what you should look at. He said, can you do this and finish it off? I'm like, okay. Then that's exactly how we started, and now I feel proud to say that we do some very good interior design also. So this is the hospital that we are trying to design. We bring in sunlight. When we start designing ICU units, we take care about how color affects a person, how color affects healing, how do we heal through light, how do we heal through sound, how do we minimize footfall. We take into account several factors that will minimize the patient's unnecessary walking. It will increase the efficiency of the doctor's movement, the nurse's movement, the building system. So we take into all account. One thing is sunlight is very critical to heal. So even in the ICUs, we brought sunlight into this design. This is a commercial space right in Kokapet. I think Suleimanji, tomorrow you can have a look. This is another site office that we have designed and executed. This is a co-working space. This is a residence in Bangalore, Jayanagar. Sunlight, exposed ceilings, very minimalistic design. This is one villa in Jayberry Temple Tree. Again, on all our projects, sunlight is very important, color is very important. We keep it simple, we keep it clean. This is a restaurant in Tirupati. So that way we are still learning, we are still progressing. And thanks to all of you that I'm here to present. And any questions, please.
Hello. Thank you, Architect Shiva Garu, for being here and presenting your journey. I think such a wonderful presentation for the evening. So I request now the audience to pose some questions because he's been throughout the world. So any questions, this is the time to ask. Please do raise the hands so that the mic will come towards you.
I think you practiced 16 years there. What made you to come India back?
Well, I just came back to India to be with my parents. It's a very straightforward. My son was born in 2010 and I found that connection. Then I felt my dad must have felt the same. Right? And then someday my dad had a logged knee. He couldn't get up, he couldn't walk, and he had to depend on the watchman to get things done. I said, enough is enough. I need my green card, I don't need my profession. And I came back, and then it's been like started from ground zero, because between 2000 to 2016 a lot has changed in India. When I left India, architecture was still very rudimentary. We were still talking about 5-storied apartments. There's no nothing, and what we were taught in school, we never saw it being practiced. But by the time I came in 2016, we were pretty advanced. We were using a lot of engineering systems that are comparable to what we were being in the United States. So I just came back because of my parents, and then I started looking for work, and I joined W.S. Atkins. Then I said, it's wasting my time in a foreign company in India. It's just a waste of time. So then I started my firm. Then I said, where can I add value? And then I found healthcare projects. They're pretty intense projects. So I started adding value to healthcare. So it's mainly because of my roots that I came back. And I'm happy I came back.
Any more questions? Good to have you back, Shiva, in in motherland. So now I request our executive secretary to play for the evening sponsor, Darpan Furnishings. Let's play a small video.
What if you could do more? More projects, more incredible work. What if you could provide services to clients in more places? In places across Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Maharashtra and more. What if you could create spaces that are more friendly to pets? So that our awesome buddies can be less restrained and more free. What if you could make life easier for parents and more enjoyable for kids? Bringing back that sense of joy and freedom to homes. What if you could give a customer experience that is wonderful in more ways than one? What if you could make technology minimize the hassle and maximize comfort, enabling a more relaxing and less complicated life? What if Indian homes could flaunt elegance? What if you could find the right furnishings to match your distinctive style and fresh thinking? Giving you the opportunity to express yourself more. What if you could do all this and more? As it turns out, you could. Introducing the reliable partner for your soft furnishing needs, Darpan Furnishings. With our experienced professionals and a fleet of vehicles, we are making it easier for you to explore new opportunities anywhere and everywhere. With our awesome range of pet-friendly sofa fabrics, Coco and Kitty can roam freely. Not to mention, children can make merry and parents need not worry. With our fabulous range of water-stain and scratch-resistant upholstery. And in a world fueled by technology, our smart curtain systems with voice controls can make life more convenient for your clients. From Turkish shirts to blinds from the Netherlands to the finest furnishings from around the world, get everything you need. From measurement to selection to execution, get all the assistance you need. Because when you have a partner that's willing to do more for you, you can do more amazing things.
Darpan Furnishings, bringing homes alive.
Thank you, Darpan Furnishings, for the wonderful evening that you have brought in for us here. I now request Suleiman Bhai to be here and brief on the tomorrow's event that he is going to present to us, the new showroom that he is going to inaugurate.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aditya Garu. It is always our privilege and pleasure to partner with IIID, and as whenever I have got an opportunity, I have tried to share this feeling that Darpan Furnishings has grown to this level with the support of IIID and all the fraternity of architects and designers. And we thank IID for giving it an opportunity to be a part of the I5 series from the day one when it was started by Sona ma'am until now. We have been associated with the I5 series. And as Mr. Subbarao said, today I am here to invite you all of you for the inauguration of our 8th store tomorrow at Kokapet. The lighting of lamp by architect Manoj Wahi and architect Praveen Nune will be done at 1 o'clock in presence of all our past chairs of IID and the IID team. So on behalf of myself, Zinat, and the entire team of Darpan Furnishings, we request your august presence to grace the occasion of the inauguration of the 8th store of Darpan Furnishings at Kokapet. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful evening once again. So I now introduce architect Sangam Surendra Kumar. So he's been absent, but he will be represented by Vandana, so one of his teammate. So he has got diploma in architecture in 1991 from the SGMG Polytechnic Vanasthalipuram, bachelor's degree in 2018 from JNFU Hyderabad, master's degree in environmental design and in 2020 from JNTU Hyderabad. So after obtaining diploma, started working in multiple reputed architects' offices for a period of about 2.5 years. So started teaching and associated with same as well as well-known architects, empaneled architects for MS Automotives Private Limited. He has a sprawling experiences in automobile industry as a vertical. Acclaimed clients are Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen, Mahindra, Ashok Leyland, John Deere Tractors and Implements. So I think he's a specialist in automobile or automotive sector. I think we have Vandana presenting him, Sangam Surendra Kumar.
Good evening, one and all. Sandhya Vandan. Okay. This is Vandana Dharmadhikari. I'm an interior designer associated with Ideas and Images Interiors past 2007. So we have been into this profession since long time, and Ulta. Okay, talking about architect, he's an architect hailing from Secunderabad. He got his diploma in architecture in 1991 from SGMG Polytechnic Vanasthalipuram. After 2 long decades, got his bachelor's degree for JNFU, followed by his master's in environmental design from the same college. And after obtaining diploma, started working in multiple reputed architects' office for a period of 2.5 years. In this journey, he brainstormed several long-term goals and decided to start freelancing and associated with some of the well-known architects, and was also an empaneled architect for automotives, and was fortunate to be the consultant for the prestigious automobile showrooms in the city like Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen, Mahindra, Ashok Leyland and John Deere Tractors and Implements. The driving force behind our company is architect Surendra. He is a man of vision and enterprise. With over 24 years of experience, architecture and interior designing, he fuses in-depth understanding to form with his own unique style of transform individual emotion, desires and sentiments into beautiful, serene, positive and rejuvenating process for living in and for work. His strengths are enhanced by his creative and innovative approach to design, his flair for new materials and finishes, and his ability to multitask and manage real projects simultaneously. We have established in 99 in Hyderabad as Ideas and Images has blossomed into thriving architecture and interior design practice from modest beginnings. We definitely have marked preference in contemporary vocabulary and signature style. We prefer to challenge ourselves with projects that span a spectrum of scales and typologies, from small residences, farmhouses to standalone retail establishments, commercial complexes. Each project feels our principal architect Surinder. It brings with its own lessons centered around concepts, material, and technology. At Ideas and Images, we look at architecture as the confluence of four elements: art as an expression of emotions, desire, the motivation and purpose of one's being, culture, one's sentimental moorings to society, and the understanding of form, which give the facility to translate design criteria defined by the first three elements into aesthetic, pragmatic, and sustainable habitats. Out of a vision are born ideas and fleeting images that keep racing through one's mind. It takes a lot sharing, talking, dreaming, and exchanging of thoughts, especially with people who are in a position to get into a similar frequency or wavelength before they can crystallize into a concept, design, or form. A good designer connects with the client's wavelength to deliver the desired output, and we take pride in our ability to do this to our clients every time. And now I would like to present ourselves with three most prestigious projects. That is, one is farmhouse, second is our own office, and thirdly one is a duplex villa. So firstly, about this farmhouse, which belongs to Vaddepalli Narsing Rao from Mamidipalli. The location of this farmhouse is situated like on the outskirts of Mamidipalli. It is like surrounded by houses with luscious fields of fruits and vegetables, and has hundreds and odd mango trees that are the pride of the family. And the client wanted to recreate this same atmosphere for his loved ones, and so he has asked us to deliver the same thing, having a nature inscribed farmhouse. So, and we had to conceive the same as elaborated version as per Vastu under the tenets of renowned Vastu consultants. The farmhouse, as you see, it has been risen from the depths of the earth, and it's far from down to earth. The sheer scale and magnificence of the project takes one's breath away, and the house has been raised to 4 meters plinth while also serving as an architectural feature. This is the concept actually. Then you can see the actual plans and layouts. This is all with arrowhead roofs and triangular portions, and it is all nested with mango plantations all around the farmhouse. It was being constructed with all the natural materials which we could find in the local area. As soon as we saw the site, it was pretty evident that we had to build around the trees. But the strict grid pattern posed a challenge, since we also had to follow some Vastu principle that has its own grid program. And sticking to the brief of using local and natural tones, locally available granite from Rudraram was extensively used. And all the doors and windows were also of solid teak wood, was used with panels and louvers. Large openings were there for cross ventilation even when the shutters are also closed. This is the elevation wherein we have raised structurally to a level so that it can be raised and feel like it is on a hilltop. These are all sectional details. So once one enters the building through a portico, grand portico, with the main door finished in exotic veneer, flanked on both sides with 2 windows with eye-catching grills and glassworks. For the visitors also, you have a staircase which is made by the undressed granite here, along with the ramp with cobblestone. The focal point here is the round water body at the foot of the staircase, finished in blue glass mosaic. And the stunning entrance foyer takes one's breath away and prepares one of the visual delights too. And the exteriorly inlaid flooring in Italian marble and exotic Indian stones reflects the wooden ceiling also the same way. The foyer is one can enter the formal drawing room on the right. Upon entering the formal drawing room, there is a fusion glass center table which is inlaid on the Italian marble and exotic Indian stones with a unique rope interwoven design. There are not one or two but three dramatic elements in the living area. Firstly, you have partition screens with uneven vertical wooden members in dark veneer. The second is the partition for formal screens, which is being parted from living to dining area with the translucent onyx panels. And third is the curved staircase clad in exotic marble, and the handrails and railings have been made with the woven rope inserted in between the verticals. The dining area again has a very flooring inlay on which stands with a very elegant and one of its kind dining tables in glass. And the staircase is also led up with bar counter, which has a glass profile, bent glass profile, and all the same is reflected in the ceiling too. The master bedroom is rich and warm in its ambience. The exclusively designed bed with its headboard in dark wood with the footboard designed in a curved profile. Woven rope panel add interest to the bed design. The side tables in dark light veneer have a contrasting curved profile. And there is a vivid ochre color wallpaper in jute finish to fill and get the richness of the room. The children's bedroom is trendy and happening as it creates a feeling of being underwater with its aquatic theme. And this is the evening view of the grand farmhouse. So next I would like to show about our office, which is located at Kondapur. This is a ground up 4-story building having our office at 4th and 5th floors, a total space of 3000 SFT across 2 floors. This is spread over 2 floors. The studio has an open plan based on our philosophy, so less is more. The simple plan optimizes circulation, accessibility. The space is clearly defined into 3 zones. The lower first zone has a reception area, conference area, and the second zone is the studio, workspace, and the architect's cabin. The third is the media room, clubbed with lunch area and breakout space at the upper level. The main entrance is cladded with natural Kota stone. This stone flows throughout the internal spaces, making use of all available colors, including earthy brown, beige, and grey and black. To inculcate a sense of space, all the primary walls were envisioned with laterite stone walls and creating perforations with glass door and portions, and lend fluidity and sophistication to the interiors along with greater connectivity. These partitions were also designed to encourage visual openness while maintaining privacy. The exposed RCC ceiling with part of it covered with corrugated roofing sheet and suspended profile light with chick pine gives us an earthy working environment. And the workspace is simple and spacious, furnished with customized workstations. The most important zone at the lower level is the architect's cabin. Unlike the common practice of making partition walls with brick or ply, we choose to opt for laterite stone walls and creating punches and fixing glass panels for visual connectivity at achieving noise-free cabin. This is the third part. What I was telling is the media room clubbed with lunch area and breakout space at the upper level, and we have a terrace garden over on the back side. Time's up? Yeah. Okay. This is the Royal Villa, which is located at Palm Meadows. Okay. So I would just go in a fast way. So this is the client wanted a big version. Actually, they had, and we had renovated with expanding. All the structural expansion was done. Almost 7 to 8 feet was extended. The shade of grey stone tiles combined with all travertine natural marble, and the wood door with brass inlay had been dominating the main entrance of this villa. The deep balconies on the ground and first floor play an important role in insulating the interiors. Having more space, the client was nature lover, so we have provided all around the villa with greenery. This is in formal living with all CNC cut jali design, floral part jari design. This puja room back panel was inspired by the shape of shaligram, and so we tried to incorporate the same design for back paneling. The bedrooms, master bedroom is also luxury with Michelangelo marble, Italian marble flooring, and he wanted it to be in whites. The daughter bedrooms are also welcomed with light and ventilation, and for that to feel like cooking and warmth, so we've given a glass digital back paneling. And the other bedroom is with cushion paneling. This is the client actually wanted to have a spacious bedroom for his only son, so we have doubled the height of the ceiling and we made it in a sloped way. This is the home theater with complete home automation. These are all the previous projects what we have done. This is interiors of Porsche showroom, Jubilee Hills at road number 36. Interiors Volkswagen showroom at Tirumalgiri, Volkswagen showroom at Jubilee Hills, this office building at Kompalli, and real estate office at Malakpet. John Deere showroom at Nirmal, and the Duple Villa at Kompalli. These are our ongoing projects. This is a commercial complex at Kukatpalli, and this is one of the Asia's biggest John Deere showroom at Medak on a spread of area of 2 acres of land. This is a villa, Duple Villa at Lodha Towers, and this is a proposal for gated community at Kurnool, and we have some residential projects in and around Hyderabad. And this is Duple Villa at Yaparal. Thank you.
Thank you, Vandana. Thank you very much for a wonderful presentation. So I think all of our friends here would approach you if they want to buy a car or a tractor. Thanks for coming and representing Surendra Kumar here.
I anyone to come with to buy a tractor, because that is very good option.
Fantastic. She's encouraging us towards going back to agriculture. Yeah, I love that. So, any questions from the audience? Our audience are very, very well mannered. So,
Thank you so much.
So I heartfully thank Malpanis for their wonderful contribution to be part of IIID series. They've been always, being there to support. So IIID is something very close to our fraternity, that it introduces us to ourselves. So every time, every series, that we know so much of our own members who have been doing wonderful work. So, and it is a very good opportunity for all of us to know each other. So, like if somebody wants to buy a tractor, joinery, we can ask Vandana. So, our next, either Porsche. Yeah, Porsche, yeah, definitely. So, Raviji is in line. Madam, please keep in mind. Pallavi doesn't want. So, our next speaker is here. Very humble soul, very gentle. Always smiley. So, smiling face. I know him from quite a long years duration. So the very and a request also has come from to our young team members, Amulya and Prashanti, that they would like to present right now. So. Yeah. So now I request our Vasuji to come and introduce the duo. So thank you.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank each one of you here in this August house that you made it very special for all of us, and you made it houseful. We never had this kind of a houseful anytime. And for the first time, I think we are seeing more number of women present here. So a huge round of applause to all the women, to the special women who are here. And thank you, Amulya and Prashanti, for making it here. And you've been kind enough to accept our invitation. So Design Dialogue is a firm, and it is their particular firm which is based in Hyderabad, and it's an interior design and architecture firm which is co-founded by both of them in the year 2018. Actually, they bring their diverse backgrounds together to offer varying perspectives and approaches to design. Prashanti holds a master's degree in architecture from Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago. She is an art enthusiast with a strong aesthetic and design sense who developed a love for design from very early age in life. Amulya holds a master's in architecture degree from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, including IIID India Scholarship in Germany. With keen interest towards sustainable architecture and a strong practical experience, she is a curious being and a quick learner. They believe that good architecture has the power to transform the way they live in, and the essence of the interior design is always about people and how they inhabit the space. They also believe that transforming spaces lets you truly engage and create a balance between aesthetics and functionality. Some of the noted prestigious recognitions are actually featured across multiple digital platforms and magazines such as House, Architect's Diary, Better Interiors, etc. And they have received an award for Innovation Design category at TV5 Architecture and Interior Design Awards 2019. They were awarded as top 50 architects and designers under 40 years as IGEN 2021 by Architects and Interiors India 2021. And I think most of you must have already known that very recently they were recognized as India's 50 most powerful women in architecture and interior design 2023 by Architect's Diary. So huge round of applause to Architect Prashanti and Amulya. Please address the guy.
Thank you, sir, for the lovely introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, thank you, IIID, for giving us the opportunity to present our work. We are humbled and nervous at the same time to be presenting in front of our professors, mentors, and every other architect that we've been looking up to so far. We are Amulya and Prashanti, co-founders of Design Dialogue, an architecture and interior design firm based out of Hyderabad. We are a 5-year-old firm founded in the year 2018. Our association goes a long way. We were undergraduate classmates, post which Amulya went on to do her master's in architecture from IIT Roorkee, while I've done my master's from Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago. After our master's, our paths crossed again during our early career. This time we were colleagues instead of classmates. Being the workaholics that we were, it felt like we were always in sync with each other. Whenever a task was given to us after the initial brief, we would collaborate in such a way that the end outcome would be completely seamless and time efficient.
So in fact, how we started Design Dialogue has a funny backstory to it. It was in a parking garage that we ended up considering the possibility of teaming up together as a firm. However, the leap to finally get things going was not an easy one. Our families considered us to be quite young to start an independent practice, but we stuck together and stuck onto the belief, considering the sync we had and the equation we shared. Next came n number of questions about what we would call our firm. So finally we stuck on to Design Dialogue because we felt that every space has its own story to tell and constantly engages in a dialogue with the user. We'd like to call ourselves a young practice that loves to explore and is quite dynamic and progressive in its thought process. Our clients' needs become the foundation to create designs that are simple yet with an element of surprise. Thus goes our tagline, ideas go dwelling.
So this is where it all began. We were naive individuals, but committed individuals who always believed in the process and took up literally every job that came our way. We worked endlessly and literally from everywhere possible. The image on the left is where we started at one of our homes with a desk and 2 laptops. We landed our first project back in December 2017, which was an ice cream store of 300 square feet with barely any budget. Next was an upcoming nail salon of 800 square feet, and since then, there's been no turning back. As individuals, we love being organized. We put endless hours into structuring the firm right from the beginning, right from branding to the project approach, to market surveys, to accounts, and managing the finances. Even till date, it still feels like our lives revolve around spreadsheets as much as it does around CAD.
Then, like any other designer who just began their journey, we pondered over and over again on the big question, which was, what exactly is our design philosophy? Every few months, we kept revisiting what it was and constantly evaluated the need for having one. We kept looking for cues that tie our designs together. Sometimes we succeeded, sometimes we failed. Similar to the illustrations on the slide, we loved everything we did, but it was disappointing when the outcome did not match the expectations at times. We understood we wanted to be more versatile in our approach. And also, we felt that it is okay to not have a specific style or a philosophy right away, but instead it is something that should occur organically through the process. So we continued to focus on the design process, and now when we look back on what our design philosophy could be, there are 1 or 2 major aspects from each brief that took the center stage. However, it doesn't go to say that the other elements were completely ignored. In some projects, the designs were client-centric, whereas in a few, it was more about the brand. And in a few others, the site was of utmost importance. So the following slides would take you through our work. First, we'd like to take you through some of the residential spaces that we've designed. And we all know that residential spaces are highly personalized, and these spaces are to be an extension of the user's personality and the functional needs. For this, we go through an elaborate process in understanding what the requirements are to ensure all the spaces are tied together cohesively. In this project that you see here, the client was very well traveled and loved rustic finishes and bold colors, and the same has been translated into the spatial design. This is another project where the client loved vibrance and wanted a space that felt like home with a pleasant ambience created through pastel colors and floral prints.
This project was designed for a client who loved minimal and clutter-free designs. This was a project that was very special to us. Being young mothers, we understood the requirement of a toddler's room better than anyone else. We made use of the ample daylight available while creating the flexible spaces. For this, we created a collapsible partition which would allow spatial separation when required.
Can you play that? It's a small video. It's not happening.
It's a small GIF that we would like to play to show the spatial separation. We'll just move on.
So we'll probably move on to the...
No, it's playing.
Yeah.
So, no, it's just a small GIF. Okay. Next. Now we'd like to take you through our office. This, by far, was the most challenging project that we worked on. We've scrapped off multiple ideas to finally create a space that was an amalgamation of all things we loved. We experimented with a combination of materials throughout this space.
Now taking you through a couple of brand-centric designs that we've done. So fortunately, we have also had the opportunity to work with various brands that have strong ethos. This was Chai Kahani, one of our very initial projects. It was a neighborhood tea cafe that was designed very early on in our career. Here we've used an earthy material palette to create warmth and coziness. It is hard to miss the beautiful hand-painted wall art that one could not miss noticing when they walk into the space. And you could see a lot of cafes having these hand-painted art now around the city. Pelli Sandadi is another interesting project that we got to work on, where we had to display wedding-related essentials. With a minimal budget that we had, we played with a bold color while creating an interesting display area.
Next slide. This was a store designed for a well-established fashion designer in the city. As much as we loved carrying forward the designer's aesthetic, we absolutely fell in love with the large tree at the site. We put all our efforts to integrate it into our designs and conceptualize the space around it. The beautiful skylight at the entrance foyer helps one see the lush foliage of the tree once you step into the store. Being one of the very few space companies in the country, Dhruva Space is a startup who happens to be one of our clients. The site was like a hangar-like space. We took leverage of the height available, and we've created an interesting collaborative mezzanine space, which is visible on the right side in the 3D. So connecting the dots, over the years in the process of running the firm, we have understood there are a few focal nodes that make the spine of our design process. which are spatial planning with appropriate functionality, each design decision being made very consciously, be it in terms of the response to the site or the budget, using natural materials to create a well-balanced aesthetic to achieve timelessness in our designs.
And today, this is where we are. Along with the change in our design ideologies, we've also organically evolved as a firm. To add to this, with the changing design trends and the client's approach, social media has also had a major influence on running our practice and helping in its growth. Through it, we've established a brand image, reached a wider audience as well. We absolutely love connecting with design enthusiasts every day. And we'd like to end our presentation with a major takeaway from our 5-year long journey that change is inevitable and we as design professionals can only thrive through constant learning. Thank you one and all. Any questions?
So Amulya and Prashanti, thank you so much for your wonderful presentation and taking forward the practice for the next generation. It's a wonderful inspiration that it's a very rare opportunity that two women who are from different walks of life starting a firm. So offhand I haven't heard in the recent times. So I don't know. You can actually. I mean, handful of them maybe. So when in 2 tenures of our parliament, we are discussing about women bill 30%. I should request them that implement 30% men at least in their firm. So I could see all women in black and 3 boys there. So any questions for the the 2 architects here? So both IITians, India and West.
Initially, we did design and execute, sir. But later on, we've stuck to designing only.
How do you get those design intents finally on the site? That's so important to get your intent onto the final product. You will get involved in the execution.
Luckily, so far we've been associated with teams that have been, able to translate our designs into reality as well. And we would proudly say that they have translated up like almost 90 to 95% of our designs as is.
Yeah, that's wonderful, and that could be seen in your slides and your presentation too. Any more questions? I think you're very conscious on budgets too. I think your spreadsheets, the words you are talking on that, and so चाय के लिए आ जाएंगे.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So such a wonderful evening and young mindset presentation and work. So I thank Malpanis for their strong support and staunch support for the entire tenure of IIID, and the 17th edition is here, and they've been expanding Banjara Hills, Gachibowli, Goshamal, Kokapet, Kukatpalli, and they're no way they're also covering all the parts and portions of Hyderabad as the ring roads expand. So Srinath, can we present? funny recrafting ideas. So they have got a wonderful palette of plywoods, veneers, wood, and paints and textures and finishes. I would now request Vikas ji to come over here and throw some light on your products and.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So we are a interior design requirement-based firm, basically. So any requirement of yours, we are there to get along with you. Thank you, and thank you IIID for this journey, which they are with us always. Thank you. New product, we are doing this texture paints. Colortech is a company, European company, which have wall coats and floor coats available. So we are coming up with a store at Kokapet. Suleiman Bhai is opening tomorrow. So within a month, we will also be opening a store there. There we have a small this Colortech studio is being done there. So thank you for your support.
Wonderful. That's the spirit of our partners here in trade. So we are there for you always. So please be available for us too. So now there's our last but not the least speaker, architect Ramesh. So I was already briefing about him. So there are very few architects who work with the public sector or the government domain. So that takes a lot of energy from an individual or the organization. But still, always government is the largest spender in terms of infrastructure or the projects. When it comes, the entire private sector together just forms 20% of what government spends. But to be part of government is a big challenge because it drains you out completely. So you need to maintain such wonderful composure and conservation mode. So where I can see Ramesh rightly fit into that, as I know him, but always he also practices in different verticals. So now I humbly invite architect Ramesh Kumar and introduction by Pallavi ji. Thank you.
Architect M. Ramesh Kumar, his family and his school.
It's my pleasure to introduce today's last speaker of the evening, architect Ramesh Kumar Matti. He is an architect, urban planner with GIS. His key skills are in architecture, urban and regional planning. He is having experience over the 22 years in planning and architecture. He has done master's degree in urban and regional planning from School of Planning and Architecture, JNT University, Hyderabad in 2002. He is a member of IIIA and done from Mumbai in 1994-2000. Diploma in Architecture Engineering from SGM Government Polytechnic in 1994. He has done his PG Diploma in Geographical Cartography from Osmania University, Hyderabad. He is also a member of Town Planning of India, Council of Architecture, Indian Institute of Architects. Few of his notable projects are Patanjali University over the 40 acres at Haridwar, 3,200 bedded hospitals at Guntur, Kendriya Vidyalaya, temples and yoga centers, engineering and medical colleges, commercial and IIT buildings, interiors of various type of buildings like residential, commercial, health, industrial, education. There is a long list. I think put your hands together to welcome our last speaker, architect Ramesh.
Thank you very much for a wonderful introduction, Architect Pallavi Garu. And thank you very much, Architect Subbarao Garu, for your kind words. And good evening, everyone. Here, as the other speaker told, a little bit nervous, presenting before my mentors and professors, and very honored to present my journey Actually, due to my change in the schedule, I forced to go out from city, and just today afternoon I reached the Hyderabad. So what we try to do is to maintain the time. We try to divide it into 3 videos so that I can stick to the time schedule. Try to touch. Then my first video regarding the first professional journey to survive and getting graduation in architecture. Please.
Architect M. Ramesh Kumar, his family and his school. Finished his schooling from small village Shankarpalli. His father, Sri Venkat Ramaya, an electrical engineer. He used to work in planning office at Tenali for preparation of municipal plans. That was Sir's first exposure to building drawings at the age of 9 years. Then after successful completion of 10 years, he appeared for Polytechnic entrance. There he got 2 options, electrical at Nalagonda, architecture at Hyderabad. As his father was inclined towards architecture, Sir was forced to join into architecture. Shift from village to city, school to School of Architecture. Here begins his fight for survival in architecture when he joined SGM Polytechnic. But to their surprise, their college was situated right adjacent to MCH Dumpyard. What made the situation more horrible was the jackal keeps bringing dead bodies to their classrooms for feast at nights, and therefore they were always on vacations. Then they decided to fight for a better campus for them and struggled hard by creating strikes, bunked all classes. Finally, they got sanctioned to get through a new campus, which is now presently situated right opposite to Ramoji Film City. Another challenge which they faced was they didn't had any lateral entry to architecture. So therefore, again in parallel, they were forced to fight and collected money to form Joint Action Committee, for which Sir was the convener. Later, they approached MLAs to get the signatures and have raised the issue in the assembly. Then went to Delhi to get the acceptance of the course PTDC in architecture by COA with the help of Sri late architect Muzaffar Ali Khan, and finally got success in 1994. Their struggle since decade gave them fruitful results. With the immense happiness, they approached with the document to the principal of JNTU, but to their bad, the reply was denied. The scene reversed. Later, they joined in the office of Chandrawakar and Thakur Associates in 1995. And then, their professional journey started. AIIA, Associateship Indian Institute of Architects, by examination is equivalent to BArch, must be done while practicing with the architect. Hence, Sir joined with architect Sandhya Shri. There he learned about a lot of things, the teamwork, exposure in different fields of architecture, structures, interiors, landscape. Sir strongly worked for almost 4 years and completed his graduation. Then his focus shifted to post-graduation. Thus, completed his masters in urban regional planning. After all this, with a great experience, he then started his own office in their own penthouse, naming the young designers, in parallel to working as town planning consultant with the state government. Soon, the graph of their projects started increasing, and he used to work mostly in the government projects. His first project was preparation of temple master plans in the district of East Godavari and construction of Sai Baba temple. As time flies, he married and blessed with the baby boy, and then got appointed as assistant director in town planning as he stood state ranked public service examination. But the destiny changed his mind. Because his philosophy were completely different. So he resigned within a month and continued his own
ये जो पूरा स्पिरिचुअलिटी में ये जो कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर है इसकी शिल्पी कौन है? मैंने कहा इसकी शिल्पी श्रद्धेय आचार्य।
Even leaving behind his planning practice. The team.
बोले नहीं इसको आकार कौन देता है? मैंने कहा आकार देने वाले भी हमारे भाई रमेश जी से लेकर के ललित जी से लेकर के इंजीनियरों की टीम है। एक बार उन सबका भी अभिनंदन हो जाए।
In Loyola Academy, the team got the young designers and she finished her PG diploma in interiors and looking up interior design from year 2023 all the way from Telangana, premium residential projects, and then shifted and new premises that is Alwar. From 2012 to 2022 Kumar for top 25 now settled at Banjara Hills. As both of them, as a couple, believe that any successful completion of a project is a success of a team rather than any individual. Hence, they added an auxiliary professions under the same roof. They have different departments, which is structural department, MEP, interiors, along with the architecture. Architect M. Ramesh Kumar, his family and his school.
The starting and present days of architecture. I rather architecture is mother of all arts, as you know. Architect is the name and sounds and reminds the powerful creation of universe. An architect is a creator. An architect is a visionary. In my view, the building which is enclosed by four walls reflects all emotions, colors, energies. It's just not a mere block or a dabba. It is the place where we recharge our energies for daily life. It is a space where our thoughts multiply to growth. A space where the generation together blessed with cheerful life. A kingdom where the landlord enjoys his small swarajyam. From where he starts the journey to rule and conquer the world with the rising of energies. Such a beautiful place, such a beautiful responsibility given by the Almighty to the architect. With these thoughts nurturing in our mind, formed the office, the IIID designers. Our logo represents Gijigadu, the nature's best architect and builder who weaves its nest with utmost care where even a single water droplet cannot enter in terms of cyclones. That is our inspiration, being with the nature and for the nature. The yang is a word which accumulates energy, stimulates the organs in the body when our inner body feels that we are ever young. Our designs are ever young, should stand with the evolving time and should radiate the energies every time. As the time is ever young, the time is never old. So, hence we coined our office as the young designers with inspiration. So, our designs should speak, our buildings should speak, they should reflect the character of the building. God has created so many forms, no one is identical with other. Hence, the building also should have their own identity. It should reflect the character of the owner of the building. In today's fast-forward times, a police station is also being designed as shopping complex. But this trend will harm the architecture as these are the emergency responsive buildings, fire, hospitals and police stations. So this is small design philosophy, and by the grace of Almighty and my gurus, we are blessed with the different types of projects, and also our clientele is from small residents to the richest small residential owner to the richest yoga guru. So in all the projects, the University of Patanjali is challenging one which we forced to finish during the COVID time. At last, the campus is completed with utmost satisfaction and inaugurated by the Honorable President of India, who praised and given presidential lunch to our family. So, just a small video about the University of Patanjali, please. plus land and world biggest wellness center capacity and person 50 times per day required. And we are working in Global University at Delhi and Central University of Andhra Pradesh at Anantapur. And we greatly believe in winning the hearts of clients rather than winning awards. So, small video about our other projects, very fast, 2 minutes. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ramesh. Please be here, available for us for 2 more minutes. That's a huge scale, and it's very difficult to manage such scale project and timelines and all. So, any questions from the audience, please?
Yeah, my question is Baba Ramdev as flexible as he is as a client? What is your experience with him? And
Baba Ramdev is having working with him is a challenge. The work which takes normally 9 months, we have to force it to complete it in 3 months. I told several times, the child birth will take 9 months. If you take out and 7th month also, you need to put it in ICU. So do you want that? No. You increase the labor, increase the run throughout 24 hours. We challenge taken for the wellness center where 1200 labor within 3 months, 3 shifts, we finished the 12 lakh SFT interior project completely. So such was the drive, and when he starts he make up his mind, he never sleeps and he wants us to sleep. That is the biggest challenge always with him. So it is very nice to work with him, and he several times he took from 2015 we are with from past 8 years. Any project, if I say, sir, I don't have any experience in this, he says, no, you learn, be here, know the processes, go anywhere, but you have to do it. So such a beautiful person where the client never such person, and it's the grace of God and my gurus. Thank you.
Thank you, Rameshji. Thank you once more, and a round of big applause. So now it's time for felicitation to our wonderful speakers. Before that, we would like to play one more small video of 30 seconds. Yeah. So we have missed out on our dear architect Shiva's video. So we would like to see.
Hi again. This video actually talks about the iterative and design process, how we capture design, how we capture various options. Instead of seeing as images, we thought it is better to capture in the video, and the iPad has been a great tool for us to achieve this. So if you see, this is a landscape video. We use golden ratio proportions, we use the connecting lines, we use the grids. Every design that we do actually goes through the same rigorous process. We don't take any inspiration from the web, we try to do our own this thing. So this is one thing where we start to evolve patterns, evolve forms, evolve function. This is a landscape for a 1,000-yard villa, and this is the driveway, this is the water body, and this is the backside. So every detail has been meticulously put together, thought through. So please. So the various forms that come into the bird, with the fish, the elephant, we start playing with things. Let's play? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Shiva. That's the spirit of our audience as well as our speakers, that we are always ears here. Now I request our sponsors tonight, Suleiman Bhai from Darpan and Vikas Ji from Malpani Group. Please be here. It's time for felicitation of our speakers. So I request Kavita ma'am and Asha ji to be also on the stage.
ये स्पॉन्सर्स के लिए मेरे को बोला
Suleiman ji and Vikas ji, please come. Now I would request our chairperson, Architect Manoj Wahi ji, to felicitate them.
Can we request the speaker number 1, Roxana, and please come.
A big round of applause, please. Thank you, Kavita ma'am and Asha ji. Thank you, our dear speakers. I would request the sponsors to be there because they would be the sponsors of the evening. Now I request Nivedita madam and then Srinivas Murthy ji to please come onto the dais. The second speaker, Architect Shiva Mohan ji, please come onto the dais. Thank you, ma'am and sir. The next speakers are felicitated by Gurraj sir. Aparna ma'am, please come on to the dais and honor our memento. Vandana ji, please come and she has taken all the trouble to, in the last minute, she has to represent Surender ji. Thank you, Guru sir and Aparna ma'am. The next, Ravi ji plus Shantanu sir, please come on to the dais to felicitate our next speaker, Architect Ramesh Kumar. Manoj ji, you can join onto the stage. Sona ma'am and Padmaja madam, please be on the dais to felicitate our Padmaja Somi Reddy. We got Padma, okay. So Padma ji. Our two young girls here. Yeah. A big round of applause, please. So thank you for the wonderful evening, and you have made it all together. So right now we would like to felicitate our sponsors. Our chairperson, Architect Manoj Wahi garu, would be there to felicitate the sponsors. So, and I would also request Guru sir, Ravi sir and Sora ma'am to be on the stage. Zinat ma'am, can you be also here? A big round of applause. Staunch supporters of IIID HRC family. Next in line, Vikas Ji for Malpani Group. Please be here. All his brothers, whoever is here from the Malpani Group. Varan Ji, Vivek Ji, Nayan, the young lot. I don't know. Can I request Kavita ma'am, Aparna ma'am and Nivedita ma'am also to be on the stage? So that's our senior family here. So thank you so much, and wonderful evening by our speakers and sponsors and our chairperson here and past chairs. We'll have a group photograph with all our speakers and the MC. అన్న మీరు ముందు
उसमें कहीं भी खड़े रहे तो दिख जाता
थोड़ा सा पीछे अरे
The evening is not all over. The woman power. We were going to have a cake cutting on the eve of occasion of the Women's Day. Srinath, please do the arrangements.
Whoever can join. Everyone should join. Everyone should join. I think we should give us that side. This side. Come. Mitra. All please join. Please for the selfie. Yeah, you can join.
Please do join for our long selfie. Longest and widest selfie.
हमारे चक्कर में चार लोग गिर रहे तुम्हारे चक्कर में लाइट होना है लाइट होना मुझे तो क्या है सामने से फ्लैश रख लो थैंक यू
Please wait for the cake cutting. All the women can wait for the cake cutting. We are ready to have the piece of cake. Let them cut, will it?
This is very energetic, sir.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the Mr. Patanjali.
He never sleeps. No.
Yes.
मनोज जी किसको बुलाना है सेंटर all the ladies please decorate the stage and then we are ready for cake cutting and all the men are ready to eager to eat. थोड़ा केक जल्दी कट करके हमको दे दीजिए. आया के जब
ये प्रोटोकॉल है क्या बात है उसमें पैकेट I shapat. Sir, women is not full with men.
Come fast, come fast. Come fast, come fast. All the women, please stand here for the photograph.